All right, on this episode of Grilling with RVH, we're going to do a tri-tip and a brisket style. What do you need? Well, one tri-tip, obviously. We bought this one from HEB. It's a little expensive, but hey, it is what it is. So I mixed up a injection of liquid aminos and the Worcestershire right here. I'm gonna take this out. We're going to inject it, and then we're gonna rub it with some Killer Hogs Barbecue Texas brisket rub and some Cosmos Q Texas beef rub. And then I'll tell you how we're gonna smoke it after this. First step is we gotta get the tri-tip ready and then injected. It's fairly trimmed. It does have a little bit of fat cap on the bottom, but I'm gonna leave that there. We'll see how it goes. I've done tri-tip before, but I've never done it in this way. So I saw this on both Meat Church Barbecue, their YouTube page, and on smoking-meat or smoking-meat.com with Jeff Phillips. And so I want to try it and see what it tastes like. So we're going to inject it, and then we're going to see how it comes out. Some folks swear by injecting, some folks don't like injecting. I like doing it with bigger cuts just because it seems to add a little moisture in the cut. We'll see. All right, one thing I like to do once I'm done injecting is I like to take the rest of the marinade, or the rest of the injection, I guess, and rub it over there a little bit, and then it helps the rub stick to it. All right, so first we're going to do some of this Killer Hogs Texas brisket rub. Can't even talk today. Just a little touch of it. Then the Cosmos Q Cosmos Q Texas beef. Been using Cosmos Q a lot lately. I really like their rubs, as well as the Killer Hogs rubs too. I like their stuff too. All right, not too worried about the fat cap side. Gonna flip it over and pour the rest of this over here. Just kind of act as a little marinade, perhaps. And then, of course, a little more of this Texas brisket rub. Trying to get the sides as much as possible. If not, oh well. And then a little more of this Cosmos Q just to top it off a little bit. All right. So we're gonna let that sit for a minute. We're gonna clean up after ourselves, and then we're gonna put on the smoker. We're gonna put on the smoker for probably, I don't know, we're gonna go 200 for about an hour, and then we're going to kick it up to 225 and let it run till it gets to about 165 internal. And then we're gonna wrap it in some pink unwaxed butcher paper, and then we're gonna put it back on the smoker, let it get to about 200, 203 like a good brisket, and then pull it and rest it. So we're gonna take a break, let this sit for a minute, and then get it ready for the smoker. All right, we got the tri-tip on the smoker, seasoned like a brisket. When I do long cooks and just a couple of things, I like to put a drip pan on the bottom rack of the Masterbuilt, so I don't get a lot of drippage down on the heat manifold. Some people have had problems with fires. I haven't. I mean, mine cook okay. But yeah, so that's why I put a drip pan there. But yeah, we're gonna let it run. It's at 200. Got some pecan wood in the hopper over here. Some pecan wood down there. And we're gonna let this run till it gets to about, actually let it run for about an hour at 200. Then we're gonna bump it to 225. And then we're going to, once it gets 165, we're gonna wrap it in pink butcher paper and then we're gonna put it back on and let it run until it gets to 203-ish. One other thing I did forget to mention is that when we bump this to 225, I'm going to start mopping it occasionally with some of that Woody Butler Barbecue Company mop sauce mixed with a little bit of liquid aminos. I did it on my last brisket. It was outstanding, so I'm gonna do it on this Tri-Tip as well, and we'll see what happens. All right, stay tuned. We're about an hour in, so I just boosted the temp to 225 on the old Masterbuilt 1050. I'm gonna mop this with some Woody Butler Barbecue Company mop sauce mixed with some liquid aminos, and we're gonna let it run for a little while. And so after mopping it, that's what it looks like. That mop sauce from Woody Butler just smells phenomenal, outstanding. So this is hit 160, and this is normally where I would wrap it, but I'm gonna let it set up a little bit more. Still just a little bit. The bark is not quite where I want it yet, so I'm gonna sit a little bit longer, and then I'll wrap it. I might just let it run all the way through, who knows, but we'll see. All right, so we let it run pretty much till it got to 180, 185. I wrapped it in the unwaxed pink butcher paper, put it back on here. I'm gonna get it to about 203, then we'll pull it off and rest it for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then slice it up. All right, so now it's time to see what it looks like. How it turns out. Been resting about an hour. That looks good there. Let's see, which way's the brain going? Very soft, very tender, but not bad. It doesn't have the real long slices, but it does have a nice little smoke ring. Yep. And it's still very warm. And there you have it, the finished product. So, just to recap the Tri-Tip as a brisket cook, it was outstanding. Tender, flavorful, not fall apart, but it did pull apart. So, I'll tell you this is the bottom line right here. If I ever want to do a brisket and I'm not cooking for a bunch of people because it's just me and my wife now living in the trailer, if I ever do want brisket, I'm gonna grab a Tri-Tip and I'm gonna do it brisket style. Outstanding. Highly recommend the Woody Butler mop sauce. I mixed it with that liquid aminos. I'm gonna try something else next time when I use a very salty rub, because there was a little touch too much salt I had on it. I think it was a combination of the rubs I used and the Woody Butler and liquid aminos. Not the Woody Butler mop sauce so much, but the liquid aminos had a lot of salt in it. So that's the one small change I'd make, but I'm telling you, the Tri-Tip as a brisket, phenomenal, outstanding, you gotta do it. Thanks for watching this episode of Grilling with RVH. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Take care, God bless.